Welcome. My name is Grandma Storm. I write stories for young adults. Today I am reading chapters 116 through 120 in my book, The Book of Faith. Manson noted the hoof prints and wagon ruts at the river's edge. A host crossed not long ago. He also felt an odd heaviness in the air, a flatness to the horizon. Very strange. Still standing on the boat deck, he pulled from a pocket the scroll delivered by the nightingale. A great cloud and a fire unfolding itself, and a brightness was about it, and out of the midst thereof, as the color of amber, out of the midst of the fire, came the likeness of 4 living creatures. And this was their appearance. They had the likeness of a man, and everyone had 4 faces, and everyone had 4 wings, and their feet were straight feet, and the sole of their feet was like the sole of a calf's foot, and they sparkled like the color of burnished brass, and they had the hands of a man under their wings on their 4 sides. And they 4 had their faces and their wings. Their wings were joined one to another. They turned not when they went. They went everywhere, every one straight forward. He looked to the sky. Nothing. He was at the rendezvous point as instructed, but there was no one to meet them. There was certainly nothing as fantastic as the note described. It was getting late. The sick and weak needed shelter. He gave orders to the able-bodied to get them into the cottage, perhaps in the morning. "What is that?" asked one of the women. Manson turned to see her pointing at a bright cloud high overhead. "Look!" cried another. The people dropped what they were doing and gathered around Manson. "It's coming this way, right at us!" yelled a man. The next moment, the cloud filled the sky. Fierce beings with wings of angels blazed within the cloud. Their bodies were like the bodies of eagles, lions, and men. Fiery eyes of amber stared down at the people huddled about Manson. Women's cries were drowned by the thundering voices of the 4 creatures and the beating of their enormous wings. Burnished hooves of brass struck the air, sparking bolts of lightning. "Stay with me! Don't be afraid!" cried Manson. "It is the chariot of the king." The burning cloud swallowed them, and they swept into the sky. In a moment, in a twinkling of an eye, they found themselves in the shade of a great tree. The cloud cleared, rising to the clouds. As Manson gathered his wits, he was shocked to see strangers standing before him. All the guilt of his treason and betrayal of the village by the sea filled him. He fell to his knees before a stranger and wept. "I beg you to forgive me. In the name of the king, please forgive me. I beg you, I beg you, I beg you." In gentle voice, stranger said, with his hand extended to raise Manson, "My brother, you are forgiven by me and one greater than me. Stand here, and together we will watch the fulfillment of our salvation." 117. Darkness rose as a bloated wall and oozed over the eastern sky. Black fire, thick smoke, and the foul stench of sulphurous gas hung over the valley of dry bones. The red dragon rose on outstretched wings, screaming blasphemies. Green flame spewed from her many mouths. On the far side of the valley, Tirza climbed high in the mothering tree to watch the spectacle. Manson and his rescued ones gathered in small knots, watching the sky. Faith and her mother stood together by the roots of the mothering tree, comforted by the shelter of the canopy of leaves. "What should we do?" Faith asked. "Watch and wait," said Mother, "for as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are his ways higher than our ways, and his thoughts than our thoughts. The final battle is about to begin. It is war now." "The two most powerful warriors are patience and time," said a man's voice. All turned to see the man who had been the third scholar. "Elijah!" Like a man coming home from work at the end of day, Elijah kissed his wife. "Faith," said her mother, "this is your father." "My father?" "You are the man who led us out of the arena," interrupted Tirza, climbing down from the tree. "You are the man who told us to run." "Yes, I have played many roles in my service to the king." "You knew me as one of the scholars," explained Elijah to Tirza. "That is behind me now." "Faith," said Elijah, turning to the little girl, "I know you have many questions. In time, all will be answered. But I need to know, do you have a small scroll wrapped in blue linen? Do you have a silver key?" Faith looked for reassurance to her mother, who nodded and smiled. Faith said, "Yes, Father." Faith pulled the scroll out of her pocket and showed him the key around her neck. "Are these what you want?" "Yes, we will need them very soon. You will know what to do." Before Faith could puzzle what that meant, her mother said, "Faith, look, we have visitors." The little girl turned around and was lifted off the ground by huge arms. A bear hug from Nicanor was followed by a hug from Pa. There were tears all around. 118. Light came into the stable of the giant's fortress. Sonia greeted the bearer of the light with exuberant hee-haws. He smiled. Pierced hands stroked Sonia's black coat. The donkey's wounds from the attack of months ago were healed. The wounds on